This is what happened to you when love had conditions. You know, one of the saddest things I see in my office isn't people who were never loved. It's people who were loved but only under certain conditions. There's a difference. Because some children don't grow up wondering if they're loved. They grow up wondering, what do I have to do to keep being loved? Think about that. That's a heavy question for a child to carry. And most of the time, they never say it out loud. They just start changing who they are to make sure that love doesn't disappear. Maybe you only got the attention when you made good grades. Maybe your parents celebrated your trophies, but never sat down and asked you how your heart was doing. Maybe the only time they noticed you was when you accomplished something. So achievement became your identity. Maybe affection disappeared when you made mistakes. Maybe you were told, stop crying. I'll give you something to cry about. You're too sensitive. Go to your room until you can calm down. So what did you learn? You learned that emotions cost you connection. You learned that if you wanted love, you had to hide parts of yourself. Maybe your parents weren't cruel. Maybe they were exhausted. Maybe they were working 3 jobs. Maybe they loved you deeply, but they only knew how to celebrate success. They didn't know how to sit with sadness. Again, we're not here to blame. We're here to understand, because healing starts with understanding. Children don't ask, what's wrong with my parents? Children ask, what's wrong with me? And that's heartbreaking, because when a child loses connection, they almost never assume the adult is the problem. They assume they are. And that belief follows them into adulthood. That's emotional residue. Let's talk about what your brain does. Your brain begins making a trade. I'll give up authenticity if it keeps me connected. Now, that's a brilliant survival strategy for a child. It's a painful way to live as an adult, because now you don't know who you are without performing. You become the high achiever, the caretaker, the perfectionist, the funny one, the successful one, the responsible one, the strong one, anything, as long as somebody needs you, because being needed feels safer than simply being loved. Do you know how many people are exhausted? Not because life is hard, but because they don't know how to exist without earning their place. They walk into every room asking, how can I prove my value? Instead of asking, how can I be myself? That's emotional residue. And here's where it starts costing you. You can't accept compliments because deep down, you don't believe they're about you. You think they're about what you did. You got promoted and immediately wonder if you're going to disappoint everyone. You finish one goal, and instead of celebrating, you start chasing the next one. Why? Because your nervous system says, if I stop producing, maybe I'll stop being loved. Do you know what burnout often is? It's someone trying to earn a love they've already deserved their entire life. Then relationships happen. Somebody says, I love you. And your first instinct isn't peace, it's pressure. Now I have to keep them. Now I have to stay perfect. Now I can't disappoint them. Now I can't let them see the real me. Because if they see the real me, maybe they'll leave. So you become whoever they need. You laugh when you're hurting. You say you're okay when you're drowning. You never ask for help. You never let them see your fear, because somewhere along the way, you confuse being accepted with being impressive. But healthy love doesn't ask you to audition every day. Healthy love says, I know you had a bad day. I know you made a mistake. I know you're struggling. And I'm still here. That's what unconditional love sounds like. And if you never experienced that, it can actually feel uncomfortable, because unconditional love doesn't make sense to a nervous system trained to perform. Some of you are in healthy relationships right now, and you're waiting for the moment they change their mind. You're waiting for the moment they finally realize, I'm not enough. But that isn't your partner talking. That's your childhood. Your childhood is whispering into your adulthood. Now let's heal. Healing starts by asking a question. If nobody was judging me, who would I be? Not what would you accomplish? Who would you be? What would you enjoy? What would you wear? What would you say no to? What dreams would you chase? What boundaries would you set? Who are you without the performance? Then start practicing something radical. Let people love you on an ordinary Tuesday. Not after you won something, not after you fixed their problem, not after you sacrifice yourself, just because you're you. Let somebody help you. Let somebody encourage you. Let somebody see you're struggling. Let somebody know you don't have all the answers. Because here's the truth. The people who truly love you don't just deserve your strengths. They deserve your honesty. And I want to say something to the parents listening. Please don't make your children earn what should be freely given. Correct them, teach them, discipline them, hold them accountable, absolutely. But never let them question whether your love is attached to their performance. Let your child know, I may not like what you did, but I have never stopped loving who you are. That sentence changes generations. And if you're the person who grew up believing love had to be earned, I need you to hear me. You never had to earn your worth. You only learned that you did. Those are not the same thing. Your value was never your GPA. It was never your paycheck. It was never your body. It was never your success. It was never your ability to make everybody else happy. You were valuable before you achieved anything. You were worthy before you impressed anyone. You were enough before the world convinced you otherwise. So stop auditioning for love. Stop performing for acceptance. Stop exhausting yourself trying to become worthy of something you already are, because the healed version of you doesn't wake up asking, what do I have to do to deserve love today? The healed version of you wakes up knowing, I am loved. Now I get to live from that place instead of chasing it. That's freedom. That's peace. And that's how emotional residue begins to lose its grip, because what happened to you may explain why you became a performer, but it doesn't have to decide who you become next. You survived conditional love. Now it's time to experience unconditional love, starting with the way you treat yourself. Amen.